Hi guys, and welcome back into my kitchen. I'm Derek and I'm the chef here at Nutricia. Today I just want to talk to you about kind of autumn winter kind of food and some kind of comforting food. So we're going to do some cobblers. So this is an American recipe that I've kind of converted for low protein PKU. So we're going to do a veg cobbler and we're also going to do a fruit cobbler as well. So again, these are things that you can make ahead of time and then you can freeze them and then take them out whenever you need them. But great for warming, especially when kids have come after school and the clocks have gone back and it's all dark. So let's start with the veg cobbler. In my frying pan, I've got 500 grams of mixed vegetables. So I've used carrots, butternut squash, courgette, aubergine and carrots and some peppers in there. So as long as the total weight is 500 grams, you can add more, you can add less. And that's the beauty about things like stews and cobblers and tagines, any of this, you can just kind of play along with it and add flavours that you want to add to it. This is just kind of my idea, but you can take it and own it yourself. So I've fried this in some olive oil with a teaspoon of garlic. In there as well, I put some dried mixed herbs and some salt and some pepper. So I've just fried that until the veg is tender, but it's not completely cooked through. So I'm going to pop that back onto the heat. And then this, I kind of want like a creamy sauce to go with this. So I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of our low protein mix. And then I'm going to add some stock and kind of make a sauce. Because the oil is in there when we add flour, that's then going to make a roux. And then that's going to slightly thicken it. So rather than the vegetables just floating around in stock, we're going to kind of create a sauce that's in there. So that's our low protein mix gone in. Just going to stir that around a little bit, just to absorb all that oil. And again, any vegetables you want to use in there, you can do. You can just do onion, butternut squash. You can add some spinach into there. If you kind of want to add some exchanges, you can add some broccoli, some cauliflower. You can add some chickpeas in there. You can add some lentils in there. You can add some sweet corn, whatever you want to do. I've got a pint of vegetable stock, and I've made this vegetable stock because I find sometimes some of the stock contains quite high in protein, so I've just made this with all the trimmings. I put it in the slow cooker with some water and I've just left it for about 4 hours, strained it, and then I keep it in the freezer and then take it out whenever I need to do it. Another good alternative for stock is dried mushrooms. So you can take about 25 grams of the dried mushrooms, put it into a pint of boiling water and then allow it to go cold. Your mushrooms will become soft. You can always chop the mushrooms up and put them into the stew, but then don't throw that liquid away because that's then your stock. There's so much flavour in there as well, so you can use that, which is exchange bread, or you can use a stock cube, whatever you kind of want to do, it's up to you. So into the veg, I'm going to then add our stock. I'm going to turn the heat up high, give it a little stir around, and then the low protein mix will start working and it will start thickening up our sauce for us. If you want to as well, you can always use corn flour and mix it with some of the cold liquid. Let's leave that there for a bit and let's move on to our dumpling topping or our cobbler topping. So in my bowl, I've got 100 grams of the low protein mix, and then I'm going to add, this is vegetable suet. So this is not an everyday ingredient, but it's available in all your supermarkets. It's quite low in protein. I think 100 grams is 1.5 grams of protein, so I'm using 50 grams in this. And again, keep it in the store cupboard. It's easy, and again, great for this time of year because we kind of make Christmas puddings and suet puddings and that with this. Into there, so I'm going to add a teaspoon of baking powder. That's going to give us our rise and our oomph. Because this is the savoury version, I'm going to add in some mustard powder. I'm just going to do half a teaspoon. This adds kind of a little bit of colour and a little bit of spice and a little bit of heat, but not chili heat. And then to that I'm going to add a tablespoonful of dried herbs. I'm also going to add a pinch of salt and some black pepper. So these are like a herb dumplings. Lots of pepper, lots of flavour. Again, you control the salt. So give all that a mix around, and then to that I'm going to add some snow crab. So different times of the year, different bags of flour will absorb different quantities of liquid. So we start with half, which is about 100 mils. I'm going to stir that through and then see how we get on. Depends how you like your kind of dumpling topping. You can make it quite firm, and you can roll the dumplings out and place them on top. I like them slightly wetter, so again I'm going to go in with a little bit more. So I want these a little bit softer, so I can kind of spoon the mixture over. And again, because you've got the dumplings on top, you then don't need pasta or rice or potatoes or anything else like this. It's kind of a complete meal in one. So the consistency I'm looking for is kind of like droppable consistency. But again, if you want to whip it stiffer, just leave a little bit of the milk out of there. Right, let's have a look at our tagine's lovely, nice and thick. So I'm going to turn the heat off on there, and then I'm going to snip in a whole bunch of basil. Just to add some flavour. You can have parsley, again you can add spinach, coriander, thyme, any herbs you kind of want to add, and I always kind of keep basil on my windowsill, so I tend to use that a lot. Again, let's stir that through. So let's pour this down into our oven-proof dish. Get all that in there. You can do it in throwaway foil containers as well. And do individual portions, then you can bring it out when you need to. Let's scrape all of that in there. And then let's grab a tablespoon. And then with this mixture, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take spoonfuls of the mixture and I'm just going to dollop that on top. This creates the topping. The dumplings will kind of join together. They'll puff up, the top will become crispy, underneath will stay gooey and lovely. And it's maybe something that you've not tried, but I'd recommend it because it's a real comforting kind of winter dish. Again, let's scrape all that out. And unlike pies and pastry, this you don't kind of need any technique. It's literally stirring and dolloping on. So that's all of that done. I'll just give my hands a little bit of a rinse. So there you've got your cobbler ready to go into the freezer. You can let that go cold in the fridge, and then when you want to cook it that night, just take it out of the fridge, put it into a preheated oven. That's 170 degrees C, and it'll take about 30-35 minutes just until the dumplings become nice and crispy on top and puffed up, and the stew underneath will become really warm. So let me show you a different alternative. And we've got a fruit cobbler. Again, if you've kind of got a glut of fruit left from summer, and I've got my apple trees, there's tons of apples on there, and I've got some frozen berries in there, but this works great with tin fruit, so you can do peaches, pears, mango works great in there, pineapple's lovely in there. You can do one fruit, or you can mix a lot of fruit all together. So in there I've got some dessert apples, not cooking apples, and I've got some mixed berries, so I've got some raspberries, some blueberries, and some strawberries and some raspberries. They're all mixed through. I'm not going to sweeten that too much because I'm not going to sweeten this top, but what I am going to do is I'm just going to pop over about 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, just to give it a little bit of a different flavour. And rather than using sugar, we're using the maple syrup for our sweetener. And the same again, exactly the same mix. So we've got 100 grams of our low protein mix. We've got a teaspoonful of baking powder. We've got our 50 grams of suet. And then we're going to add in our snow probe, same as we did before. At this point, you can add cinnamon, you can add nutmeg, you can add ground mixed spice, you can add some vanilla to there. If you want to add some sugar in there, you can do, but I kind of don't think we need any more sugar because we've got a lot of the sweetness from the berries itself and the maple syrup. So again, I'm going to start with about 100 mils. And again, I want this a slightly wetter mixture so I can dab it on top. Again, I'm going to go in with about another 50 mils, so that's about 150 mils in total. Again, give that a good mix round, spread everything in. Again, this dessert doesn't need to just be for anybody with a low protein diet or with PKU. You can do this for a family meal and everybody can join in. And again, you can see it's so easy. It's simple. So again, I'm going to take small amounts of this and I'm just going to start spreading it over the top. The fruit will bubble up in between this. You'll get some syrup underneath as well. Again, you can serve this with low protein custard. The vegan cream, which is very nice, low protein ice cream, so a good vanilla ice cream would be great with this. And again, this is going to bake 170 for about 35 to 40 minutes, again depending on your oven. Then if you want to sprinkle that with a little bit of brown sugar or demerara sugar, you can do. So that's our fruit cobbler ready for the oven, and our veggie cobbler again ready for the oven. So let's pop them in, let's bake them, and then I'll show you what they look like when they're baked. So guys, this is the veg cobbler that is out of the oven. It's bubbling, it's really hot, it's warm. Let me show you the top of that. So golden brown, the dumplings on top are crunchy and crispy underneath, nice and gooey and soggy, and all the vegetables are cooked there in the rich sauce. And then this is our fruit cobbler. So we've got the apples, the strawberries, the blackberries, and again there's your cobbler on top, loads of juice flavoured with the maple syrup, great with custard or cream ice cream. One pot meal, again, let this cool. You can then freeze it. You can do it in small batches or individual portions and then bring it out and cook it when you need it. So 2 kind of autumn winter cobblers for you there. If you need any other recipes, they're all on Low Protein Connect. Send me some messages or any comments or any pictures attached to the video because I love seeing them. And if not, I'll see you next time back in the kitchen. See you later. Bye.